You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Days of Our Lives fans, have you seen that EJ DiMera won a date with Cat Greene in the hospital fundraiser bachelorette auction? You got to wonder if he placed the winning bid to make Belle Black jealous or maybe for something to do with his brother. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and we're going to talk about the upcoming date between Cat and EJ and the possible ulterior motives for him to get involved in the auction, fresh off waking up from that post-shooting coma. I mean, this could be about his brother Chad DiMera and a little payback, or it could be EJ taking aim at Belle for a little payback for, her wire-wearing subterfuge. I just wonder if EJ is planning to kill two birds with one stone by getting under both Belle and Chad's skin by taking Cat out for a wild night of romance and revelry. So look at the timeline, because it's peculiar. EJ was shot on April 3rd. He had life-saving surgery, and then Kayla told Chad they needed to put his brother into a medically induced coma to stop seizures and let EJ's body recover. So she told Chad that on April 4th. And then a little less than 3 weeks later, on April 22nd, EJ woke up from the coma. And the online bachelorette auction ended on the 23rd. The next day, the next episode from when EJ woke up. Well, so what has me wondering and scratching my head is EJ woke up from this coma and immediately got online to catch up on the Salem news and decided to place a bid on Cat for the hospital fundraiser. That seems strange, right? For somebody to be that foggy after a coma and getting visits from Susan Banks and Belle Black, when exactly did EJ find the time to do this? Now, I do wonder if he made the bid himself or he told his right-hand henchwoman Rita to bid on the auction when he first heard about it. Maybe EJ wanted to donate to the hospital just to be helpful to the community, but then Rita decided to stir the pot by bidding on Cat, knowing she's close to Chad, who has rubbed her boss EJ the wrong way with publishing those pieces in The Spectator about him. But if it was EJ that chose Cat and bid on her, well, it could very well be about making Belle jealous, because EJ has bared his soul to her. He's opened up. He's been vulnerable. He said he cared for her, but then Belle walked away and then she came back wearing a wire. So Belle has just admitted she loves EJ, but she's also getting some advice late this week from her mama, Marlena, who wants Belle far away from EJ. We know Marlena despises EJ and she has banned him from her house, and it is totally justified. We all know that, because EJ has done horrible things to Belle's whole family on Days of Our Lives, including last year's kidnapping of Eric Brady's infant son, Jude. Plus, the legal eagle sister, Sammy Brady, recently told Belle she should know better than to date her ex-husband EJ and said some really mean things. And despite Belle being in love with the bad boy DiMera, that doesn't mean she's going to get back with him or back into his bed. Belle may reject him again. So EJ may want that date with Cat out in a public setting on days to rub it in Belle's face and inspire jealousy that might get her to run back to him. I have to wonder if EJ is going to make a big splash on the Salem scene, impress his date Cat and make his ex-lover Belle green with envy. That could be fun. I mean, fans know that she can't just stay away from EJ, and the feeling is mutual. But this thing with Cat might be a pivot for EJ, over and above also possibly being about petty payback, because the auction win again begs the question, did Elvis Jr. spend all this money to get back at his brother? Chad did publish those tell-all articles right before the shooting about, House of DiMera and all that. He let Leo kind of run wild. And, Chad did apologize and EJ dismissed it like, no big deal. But that doesn't mean he's not secretly planning some payback on his brother Chad. We know the DiMera siblings take no prisoners. They have no issue targeting one another. So EJ may have seen Chad getting close with Cat before the shooting went down. And, EJ may think using this date with Cat for revenge on his brother might be a bit of fun. However, Chad is actually trying hard to not like Cat. He's fighting his attraction to her, and they've got chemistry, so it hasn't been easy. But in the end, Chad's not ready to date anybody right now. Plus, Cat did impersonate his dead wife, Abigail, on Days of Our Lives last year, and that's kind of a deal breaker. Chad has forgiven Cat, but his in-laws, Jack and Jennifer, aren't going to want him to date Cat. I mean, Jack and Jen don't even want anybody talking to Cat. They hate her. So I'm just wondering if EJ's real motive is to make Belle squirm with jealousy, make Chad squirm with jealousy, or maybe this was just an opportunity to do both of these things and it just fell into his lap while EJ was recovering in the hospital. And again, with Rita helping EJ with all kinds of tasks, maybe he said, throw some money at the auction to help the hospital because, his reputation certainly needs some rehab. Everybody in town, with these articles and everything, already thinks he's so shady. And Rita may have just picked out the hottest bachelorette for her boss, and that was Cat. So we'll find out soon if EJ already knew about this date he was getting or if Rita springs this on him. Either way, I expect EJ to make the most of his night with Cat Greene. And as we reported before, there was a sneak peek of the day's 60th anniversary photo shoot that Dan Feuerriegel posted. And, the producers chose to do photos with Chad, Cat, and EJ featured together. And that's for episodes not airing until November. So whatever's about to happen with EJ, Cat, and Chad involved could be the start of something. And of course, you can't forget Chad exits in early 2026 because Billy Flynn has left and gone over to The Young and the Restless. He makes his debut over there very soon. As far as we know, there's no recast of Chad coming, at least not right away, which means that Kat's not going to have a love interest. So we'll definitely let you know if we hear anything from our sources, but we're super excited to see EJ take Cat out for a night on the town and whether or not Belle and Chad are fuming before all is said and done. I think it'd be pretty fun if EJ made sure that he and Cat, or both of them, posted some pics on social media of them out having a great time, looking all romantic, dressed up, so that Chad and Bill can see exactly what they're missing out on. That would be a not to miss episode for certain.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.